Hey guys, it's Ryan here with DP Marketing.Services and also author of the book on digital marketing for plumbing and HVAC contractors. Thanks for tuning in. Coming at you with a video today about fatal mistakes that we see guys do a lot on AdWords. So if you're a plumbing or HVAC contractor using AdWords, you've probably done a lot of these mistakes. You probably have a love-hate relationship of either you dip your toe in and didn't see much from it, or you threw a crap ton of money at it and then didn't see much to show for it. So this is not an authoritative list necessarily, but this is just kind of a top of mind, what we see happen a lot that causes problems. So I'd say one of the most major problems that we see is people not scheduling and targeting bids based on a device. What I mean is, on AdWords, you actually have the ability to target specific devices. So statistically speaking, more than half of your customers are coming at you from a smartphone. You can actually boost your bid on a smartphone versus a tablet and versus a computer. So you can actually say, hey, I'm not going to spend my money paying money for a tablet. Those people are going to be researching or they're just browsing around. I really want people who are more service oriented, right? They're staring at the water heater, they're staring at the compressor, and they're ready to make a decision. So you can target those devices, boost it by 15, 20, 25%, whatever makes sense, and then throttle back desktop. Now, if you do a lot of commercial work or install, then yes, desktop surely absolutely makes sense. But if you're doing service, target smartphones, target. One of the other common things we see a lot is people spending their budget evenly throughout a day. So you actually have the option in AdWords to set up an accelerated ad spend. Now that sounds scary. Let's pretend that your daily ad budget is $100. What the accelerated ad spend would say is that Google's going to crank through that $100 limit faster versus it's going to slowly drip out that $100 between like an 8 and 5. The reason we're an advocate for spending it faster is so your guys are busy, they're on the road, they're in a house, they're doing the work, they're collecting payment from customers. What they're not doing is getting a phone call from an AdWords lead at 4:55 when your guys already gone home for the day and you're kind of scrambling to fill time. So we'd rather spend that budget early in the day rather than later in the day and just get your guys going. So that's number 2. Number 3, let's say inadequate AdWords budget. This is kind of touchy because a lot of guys think it's a sales pitch and it's really not. If you're not spending about $1,500 a month through AdWords, you're gonna see really limited results. Reason being is it's really hard to see the nuance of the types of data. You won't be able to make the optimization. You won't be able to improve click-through rates. You're gonna be stuck just because you don't have enough data to actually start making improvements to your AdWords campaign. $1,500, according to Google, is about the right amount of data you need coming in on a recurring basis to actually see that. What's strange, and maybe sounds counterintuitive, is that based on our experience, the companies have a lower end budget. We struggle to see really nice efficiencies with AdWords. Like, it tries and we can do what we can, but we're kind of like just crossing the threshold. Once we have like a loosened budget, there are some companies we work with that have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month or more. We find that AdWords starts becoming more and more efficient. The more volume of data starts flooding through. So yes, it's in Google's best interest, but it also actually does help the tool work better. Subpoint of number 3, if you're not using Google Local Services, if it's in your area, you absolutely should. Google Local Services is a great product that has a lower cost of acquisition, we found, than AdWords. So look into that. The sign up and the onboarding and the background checks is the worst part, but once you're up and going, it's great. See, if I had to say a fourth, time of scheduling. So if your shop is open 24 hours a day, great. It's okay to keep your ads running 24 hours a day if you want, and those calls maybe come into a call service, or maybe there's a guy on call. What we tend to prefer is have the calls come in during AdWords only during the business hours that you know somebody's going to answer. So if somebody's in your shop answering the phone at 7:30 in the morning, great. Let's turn on AdWords at 7:20. Right? As soon as your shop's open, there's somebody there to answer the phone and get a call that's waiting on you to open. Let's get them. And then let's shut it down right before you close and go home for the day. Because what we don't want is to have your guys or to have same thing, calls coming in after people have gone home when you don't know if someone's going to get to them. It's just awkward. It's a waste of your ad budget. So if you have a Google My Business location, target it during those hours. And we tend to slightly skew it on the early side. So if you're 8 to 5, we might go 7:45 to 4:30, just on the early side of that to help make sure that there's somebody there. That's it. That's top of mind. Nothing super big, nothing super rocket science, but these are common problems. So review your AdWords, see if you're making any of these common errors. If you have any questions, let us know. Comment. We read these comments all the time. But as always, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.